Hello everyone and welcome. This is about to be a very short tutorial about how to automate snail or crystal snail farming, these guys here. In the first picture here you see an example of what to not do, because the pathing of these animals kind of make problems. So when you place a drill here and here, it will automatically get destroyed immediately. Drills here don't matter, they don't connect, and you never will have the ability to let it out because you can't fill the gaps anymore. So this is just a failed experiment like shown here. The way you do this is you set up 3 different timers. I'm showing you this while I'm explaining this. Timer 1 is a loop timer of 115 seconds. This is the timer the regeneration of the carapace needs in order to get a new one. So this is the main timer. I recommend, if you want to make something like this, make a picture right here. So this timer loops around and it feeds into another timer. This timer is down to 94 seconds. This is basically a prevention timer that makes sure that the next timer only is active once in this 115-second loop interval we have here. So feel free to make a picture here. It is a lot about testing out the right seconds, so you basically can take these away here and just make the clock smaller. So this is just the bare minimum you need to make it work. The timer number 3 is basically another loop timer. This timer goes around for 21 seconds, and this is the exact time you need in order to destroy the carapace without starting to hurt the snail. And as you see, the time is right now working for the first time. It is not the perfect, because on the left side was the very first attempt to capture a snail. And you see there are 3 spots where ore does not get transported. So in an ideal scenario, the tiles on the floor here are walls. And you make sure to place down a big, how is it called, conveyor belt section, so that you have the conveyor belts here before the snail is trapped here, because you cannot place anything underneath it. So if you have that, you will have 0 losses, because the drills will pull the items through the wall and lead it to conveyor belt. This is not very interesting when you're using infinite boulder mod, but in a vanilla scenario this is an infinite ore source. What do we have here? Let me throw it away. 7... Ah shit. 7 plus... Let me see. Okay, the one here, I can access it. So basically you can get... what was it? I didn't remember. But it's like 10 ore every 1 minute and 15 seconds. Yeah. And then you just can conveyor belt this out to your base or whatever you want with it. But this is how to automate the snail farm. I hope you took the screenshots if you want to do this, because I did not count the exact amount of, how are they called, delay circuits. So it was a lot of fiddling around just to see if it is possible. People had the question, but nobody answered it, and yeah, I thought I'd just give you the answer right here. It is possible, and this is how you do it. 3 timers. One timer is 115 seconds, one is 94 seconds, and the other one is 21 seconds. And you use the logic circuits just to prevent the power inputs to go through without this being powered. So that's basically it. This is how the mods are called, which I strongly recommend, because when you're not using infinite ore boulder or autodoors, I mean autodoors is optional, you still can use pressure plate and stuff to make doors work, but if you have played Minecraft, Terraria, etc, why would you want to repeat the stupidity? Like, autodoors is a nice mod, infinite ore boulder is, I would say, a necessary mod. Just because otherwise you're finding out pretty fast that this inner circle maybe has 2 to 3 tin ores, and then they're gone, and you will not find them anymore. So your game is basically over once tin runs out. So Infinite Ore Boulder makes it so these boulders never run out, and you can make a pretty big factory. I could extend this video and show you, yeah, I just show you what I mean with factory, because I like to have enough resources of everything. And I have not seen anybody showing automation. Automation is an Arcly process, and this is my very first world, so don't take it too serious. There is tons of ways to get it better done and more effective. But this is basically the entire thing. You have one chest. This chest is connected to a delay timer so that it will not give too many resources away. This allows us to have a stack converter. So basically the second chest fills up with like, yeah, you see what happens here. With a couple stacks of ores instead of giving single ores. This makes it so that you don't have one oven with 3000 ores, which never has the ability to completely run through. So basically all 4 smelters here are simultaneously smelting the same ore. So you don't have a backup clocking of resources. And this is the very simple version. I found out there are tables with 8 slots, so you can extend this way out. There's the second array. Like I said, it's a noob thing, it's a starter thing, because it's only 4 slots, it's not perfection. And this is the big smelting array for, yeah, obvious. The same as back, we only have 1 table here, but this is more than enough in order to produce a lot of stuff. The sorting system is a nice thing to have, but this is not perfect. You will always have access, which drops out at the bottom here for some reason. And the reason is that sometimes the arms are not powered. But it is a way to sort yourself in a way you don't need yeah, like these giant worlds to have everything together. It is not perfect, not at all. I've made every chest for 1 item. In an ideal scenario, you have this entire crafting section made smaller in a way that 1 chest can fit all the ores, for example. Like, you see it never runs full. And it's way too big. I didn't know when I made this that 1 slot fits 9,999 items of a kind. But the nice thing about this is that you never run into a situation where you don't have enough. Let me show you something. Enough to grade up your weapons. So you see, I have now the half of this gold here, which got produced in like 3 days. And when I sell this to this guy, I'm drenched in money, you know. And this makes it very easy to level up all your gear right from the get-go. I mean, Infinite Ore Boulder, a little automation. I have 2 or 3 ores just for gold. And this is what they do in 1 hour. So it's very worth it. A lot of people struggle with money income and stuff, but that's a thing of the past. I wouldn't recommend to start off like this, because you can start off way easier, like with just making 3 in a row, 3 of the ovens in a row, feeding into 3 of the more advanced smelters in a row, feeding into 1 chest. That's all you need for the start. Like, you don't have to waste any conveyors or whatever. Just arm, smelter, arm, smelter, and at the end the chest. That brings you a long way. So this is enough to get you to the mid game, to the end game. And yeah, I just wanted to show it's a very ugly place. I wouldn't recommend to permanently live in this, but when you want to go out and do stuff, instead of having to walk around through an entire huge base and stuff, just make yourself one place where you like to be, like having a timeout, like going to fish or something. You can make it prettier, but all you need is a little automation line for all the resources in the game. These are like 13 tiles of slime, and you have an automated farm for this. You know, it doesn't have to be those huge 20 by 20 areas for every... What's that? Grims? Okay, cool. I didn't have that. I take this. I take this. What's this? Nice, 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 nice. You see the point. You know, you can extend these things, but basically with 13 tiles in a row, you have everything you need to have an automation going on that gives you everything a mob drops. And you can extend this even for animals. I'll give you a quick show of this. It's the same, it's not perfect. This is my very first world. But to have an automation that automatically separates like wood and... How's it called? Blankets? You know these things here. I'm not sure how they call it in English. I very strongly recommend to have this. Like, this food here automatically feeds the cows. They never starve to death. And I'm not sure how it's not always working. It's most like I have to be here, but not really. Because when I show you the inside of this chest, this is completely automated. So... And you can sell these things, can use them in order to repair some gear later on. So yeah, get yourself a little automation. So this is like the starting area. I had chests here, and everything around of 3 tiles or 4 tiles, I'm not 100% certain, could be accessed by one chest. So I didn't have to run around taking ore, putting it there, doing this. I could actively take my time and explore the world while everything here just worked fine. Like, goodbye.